Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. This is part of the 1M Global Virtual Incubator Accelerator. It's the first of its kind, headquartered in Silicon Valley, and our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue, build $1 trillion in global GDP, and 10 million jobs. Now, you can imagine that kind of an ambitious goal can only be met if all of you become successful entrepreneurs. The whole goal of the program is predicated upon your success as entrepreneurs. We're here to support you. This is our 236th roundtable. We started experimenting with these programs back in 2008, long before actually the 1M program was even conceived, forget about launched. So we started experimenting with these mentoring sessions, and then eventually that led us to the conception and the founding of 1 Million by 1 Million, which we launched at the end of 2010. So we're just coming up to about 4 years of being in existence. You will have a recording available of this event both on our blog as well as on our YouTube channel. If you are live tweeting the session, please use hashtag 1M1M. Our Twitter IDs are at 1M by 1M and at Romana is my personal ID. We put a lot of interesting quality content through our Twitter channel, and we publish every single roundtable recording on our YouTube channel, which is 1M Roundtables. So you will find tons of great content there. So these are the call-in instructions. We actually have a bunch of people who have sent in their slides ahead of time. So we are first going to work with them, and then we will get to open Q&A with call-ins and public chat later on in the program. Now, just a quick reminder, this month we have launched Carnival in the Cloud, which is our latest book in the Entrepreneur Journey series. Those who have followed the program, you know that aside from doing these roundtables, doing the blog, and doing our 1M Premium program, we also publish books. That's one of the ways we try to make knowledge accessible to you. So Carnival in the Cloud is a collection of how about 15 cloud entrepreneurs have built their businesses, and it's a very interesting book, a very interesting romp through the cloud entrepreneurship universe. Maureen, can you freeze the video, please? All right, so we are going to start with Chat Razdan as the first presenter. Chat, if you could unmute your line and tell us what you're doing, that would be great.
Perfect. Thanks so much, and hi, everyone. Appreciate you taking the time to listen to us. So my name is Chat Razdan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Carnival. I guess you can go to the next page.
Where are you from, Chat?
I am from, well, I'm originally from Baltimore, but live in New York now.
Okay.
And so I guess kind of how Carnival started is back in February, I had some friends and family that were diagnosed with cancer, and so wanted to do something for them. You probably can't tell by the picture on the left, but didn't really want to shave my head because I was afraid the hair probably wouldn't grow back. And so wanted to do something that would be a little more meaningful. And so I reached out to two of my friends in the fashion industry, Susan and Caroline, and asked them kind of, hey, what can we do? Susan had lost her father to cancer 9 years ago, and Caroline had had what's called a PICC line. A PICC line is an IV tube that goes in your arm and connects to your heart. You use it for chemo, you use it for any sort of long-term treatment. She had had it for kidney failure, and kind of we remembered when she had it, just how miserable the experience had been for her. You literally have a tube that dangles outside of your arm for somewhere on average between 4 to 6 months, and there's a lot of complications that can happen with it. You can go to the next slide. And so we said, okay, this is something that we can do something about. It's something that we can leverage my two co-founders' experience in fashion and design and manufacturing, and mine in helping to build a company and grow sales and partnerships. And so we came up with Carenware, focused on improving the quality of life for patients. If you go to the next slide, please. And so as I was starting to say, PICC lines in general, there's really nothing right now to help risk the level of infection. So it can get infected very easily. The catheters move very easily. It's highly uncomfortable, and there's a huge cost to both you and the hospital every time you have to go back in to get it replaced, because it takes over an hour to get it done. So if you go to the next page, kind of looking at who's around there, literally in speaking to hospitals, they told us about how, like at Johns Hopkins, for example, you literally wear a tube sock over the PICC line to keep it in place. That's the best option on the market, and that kind of allowed us to see, okay, there's something that we can do. Next slide, please. And so we created an armband whose goal is to kind of keep it in place, protect the patient, be comfortable, and then inspire the patients with fun designs. Next page, please. And so the band is our first product. Next page, please. And it's got a few pretty essential attributes. First is it allows you to kind of securely hold the PICC line in place. We created a mesh window that we were able to file a provisional patent for that allows for air to go through. The dressing that's placed over the line needs air at all times. We've made it, coated it with an antimicrobial treatment that actually regenerates every time you wash it in the machine. As you can imagine, the last thing in the world you want to do is have to hand wash a garment when you're undergoing long-term treatment, and so this is very easy to care for. And then you can do a lot of really fun designs, Disney superheroes, Barbie dolls, Major League Baseball teams, etc. Next page, please. And kind of thinking about, you know, what are the other options? There's PICC lines. There's also what's called a port where it's put in the chest. The issue is that actually gets infected quite easily. And then other options are in your neck, which, as you can imagine, is not really comfortable, having a line outside of your neck for 4 months. And then getting an IV placed every single time you go in for treatment. When you're going 3 times a week, that's not really ideal. Next slide, please. And so right now there's over 6 million PICC lines inserted a year. It's growing at greater than 5%. Next slide, please. And kind of how we're thinking about approaching the market. Next slide, please. We've kind of taken a 4-pronged approach. First is working with nonprofit foundations. So we've partnered with the American Cancer Society, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, an organization literally called F-Cancer, and then the Imagine Dragons, the musical band. And these guys are all helping promote us, helping us reach the patients that are in need, putting us on their own, in their literature, on their websites, and also introducing us to hospitals. The ultimate goal being have a band given with every single PICC line that's installed, and then also have nurses serve as a nurse ambassador, similar to how fashion companies have college kids serve as college campus ambassadors. We're also creating our own e-commerce platform, and then we're also going to leverage medical distributors to bundle our bands. Next slide, please. So we made a lot of really good.
What is the current status? So is any of this happening already? Do you have a product? Do you have it?
Great question. So we have our product. We just placed our first manufacturing order. We've already partnered with the 4 foundations. They're going to sell it on their e-commerce platforms as well as put it in their literature, and they've already started social media on our behalf. And then we have a few hospitals that we're working with on a trial basis, and then we're actually working with a pretty big-named hospital to help do like a full-on research study as well, so we can talk about all the benefits of what we're doing, and then our e-commerce platform will be launching in the next few weeks as well.
Do you have any paying customers yet?
So we just launched an Indiegogo campaign, so I guess you could count them as paying customers, because as part of that, we were selling bands as well as also allowing you to donate bands to patients. So we've raised over $11,000 through that in about a month.
And what is the pricing for that?
We're selling it for $30.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So you go to the next page. So we've made a lot of progress. We've partnered with a bunch of people. We're working with some of the leading hospitals in the world. And then we've had a lot of good fortune, too. We were actually featured as one of Katie Couric's favorite items back in April on her show. As you can imagine, we didn't have a product then, but, you know, any press is good press, especially when you get to be on the Katie Couric show. We also are excited to share that we, as I mentioned, we're doing a full-on clinical trial. Next page, please. And we were also named as a semifinalist in the Livestrong Foundation's program. They had like a competition over the summer, and we received a small grant from them as a quote-unquote promising project. Kind of where we're going from here, as I said, we are now launching fully on our e-commerce platform, and we're starting to have the band available at hospitals, and this will all be done in the next couple of weeks. And we're really excited for what we've been doing, and most importantly, a key component of what we're doing is giving back, and so 20% of all of our profits is being shared with our foundation partners to help kind of broaden the impact of what we're doing around the world. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions or comments that you guys might have.
So two issues I see. One is, are these hospitals that are going to be working with you, are the hospitals buying the product, or is it the patients who have to buy the product? What is the assumption?
Yeah, great question. It's kind of all of the above, which sounds kind of weird, but hospitals buy them to be installed with the PICC line. Right now, they charge insurance companies $30 for an ACE bandage that you put around the PICC line. The issue with the ACE bandage is that it actually constricts airflow, and so they don't really want you to wear the ACE bandage. And so insurance companies have told us that we could replace that ACE bandage with our armband, and that's how we kind of came up with the $30 price point. So technically, insurance companies will be paying for the first one, and then with the multiple designs, we envision a number of people buying them directly through us and then through hospital gift shops, et cetera. So you could have like a tuxedo for formal night, you could have camo, you could have stars, stripes, what have you.
Okay. So that's, you know, if the hospitals are buying in bulk, that makes life a lot easier for you, and if insurance companies are reimbursing, that definitely makes life a lot easier in terms of, you know, going to market and getting yourselves out there. So I think, you know, for at least based on what I'm seeing, that seems like something that you need to build a significant channel strategy for to be able to sell to the hospitals efficiently.
Yeah, we've we've connected with over 200 hospitals, and there's been a lot of excitement from them, and definitely agree. I mean, I think it's really important in how you approach the market, and that's why we're using such a simple and elegant solution is, you know, if you had gone in with wearable tech, it would take you over 3 years probably to get in, given that we don't really have brand recognition, but something as simple as this, they see the immediate benefits for, and so they've been really excited to kind of push them through.
Not exactly wearable tech, right?
Yeah.
Now, the other question I have is, have you looked into what is the keyword landscape in Google PPC for stuff like this? I mean, if somebody are patients going to look for something? Is there any chance of harnessing any keyword traffic for
that's a great question. So we have one of my former colleagues from my last startup is an SEO expert in Wiz, and so he's been helping us out there. The real kind of two integral channels, I think, are the foundation. So normally when you get diagnosed or you're going through treatment, you're speaking with your nurse, and you're also speaking with the various foundations and communities that are out there. And
I don't agree with that. I think it's the hospitals that are going to be a primary channel. I don't think foundations is it. But
yeah, so with the hospitals, that's why we're creating the Nurse Ambassador program, because you literally do whatever the nurses tell you. And then all the patients we've spoken to actually, and I don't want to disagree with you, but the research we've done, they've said that the foundations have community message boards, et cetera, where they get connected with people, they understand what they're going to go through, they kind of talk with each other, et cetera. And so that's actually a big part of our strategy is through the foundations, kind of interacting with patients. And then we're actually creating our own community as well. So creating our own blog, creating a platform where people can come together.
With online communities, online social media marketing, and online content marketing, I do believe is going to work very well. Great. So a good presentation. You've thought things through, very nicely presented. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. Probir Sarkar, you're up next.
Hi everyone, this is Probir from Pictofigo. This is my brand, and okay, the Pictofigo it comes with the picture with figure, so that's the brand's name comes to Pictofigo, and it is a freehand drawing database. That means you can see in the internet there is only that photography site is there, but there is no freehand drawing image, which is not a drawing image, is a concept. That means it's a very niche area. I'm working with a very niche area, and I started the Pictofigo as a fun drawing. But now it goes very serious because now it is everywhere. People are using that Pictofigo drawings.
Right.
Next slide, please.
Sounds very cool, actually.
Yeah, because the figure is I mean, people using is a universal figure, not like Indian, not American, not European, not like that. Everyone started with the drawing circle with the hand. So that's the reason we have a 10,000 image, and which I have built. It is very hard working, you know that. So this is my target is 1 million image to end of this year or end of the next year. Okay, next.
So do you have this database up yet?
Yeah.
People are using it, or do people know about it?
No, actually, that is the problem. I don't have any marketing. I mean, there is no marketing side. There is zero marketing. But people, it is a spread word, mouth of word. So word of mouth. So basically, it is people comes our site and they started that using that picture.
And you say you have 25,000 in revenue. How do you sell? How do you price this?
Yes, this is, we have a paid customer. There is a 3 big company, like there is one video company, but this is a training company. They used our 2,000 image, and this is a rent basis. I mean that we have given 2,000 for testing, and they are happy. Now we are going for again 5,000 image. There is a mind mapping company. There is a several mind mapping company. We have a partnership, and they are already started that that image for the mind mapping industry.
Okay.
Yeah. This is basically credit purchase, direct image purchase.
Can you make sure that whatever other action is happening on your end can be muted? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, there is no sound from my side. Yeah.
You do have somebody has both a phone and the computer sound on. So you need to turn off the computer sound if you're on the phone.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is the current revenue streams. So credit purchase, it is normally it is going on, but here is we have a backlog that we don't have any money to put that for marketing. But that our partnership with that communication school, IT company, bloggers, and the mind mapping company, they are already using our image drawing. Okay.
Are they paying this mind mapping company?
Yeah, they are paying.
They're paying customer. Okay, fantastic. How many mind mapping companies, how many of these training video companies are there in your sweet spot, and have you started reaching out to them to do similar deals, similar paying deals, right? You don't need marketing, you just need to sell.
Yeah, that is our, I mean, very unfortunately that we didn't do. But the second mind mapping, biggest mind mapping company is Bigger Plate. They are a company. There is a 5 mind mapping company. They are using our images, and 2 video production house, but they are normally training in school. They also using our that Pictopico image as a renting. I mean, paid customer.
Prabir, did you understand what I said? The best way for you to generate revenue right now would be to go into those segments, to go into the video production for training companies. There are many of those, right? There are tons of video production companies that cater to the training industry. And you could go sell your database. Similarly, you need to create some sort of a pricing model that is repeatable, and then you just go and sell to those people, and you should be able to generate revenues while you grow your database. This is a very straightforward business.
Yeah, that is already started. I mean, but we are not. I mean, that to be honest, I am not expertise on the marketing on those side. So that is we are. I mean, looking for that. Like this is the Bigger Plate, and the Project Smart. XP is the French company. They tie up with us to continue drawings for them. I mean, every month, like 1,500 kind of drawings, we supply the drawings. That XP. And Kenton School is a UK based. They ask for some special drawing, but same drawing design is look like a Pictopico, not like a different drawing.
Okay. Well,
so this is just starting.
And I think you can build a sizable business very easily if you just learn how to sell this properly, which we can teach you how to sell this properly. That's no problem at all. But I think you have an interesting value proposition. I've never thought about it, but I think it's a very cool idea.
Yeah, this is unique, and no competitor.
Besides you, who else is on the team?
This is mainly I do, and there is two designer is there. We are very poor company, sorry, but we're struggling. This is no shortcut, so we try to build that in ourselves.
I see. All right. Well, I think it's actually a very cool idea, and you can build a reasonable sized business with it. So keep going.
Thank you, Ramana.
You're welcome. All right. Is Rajat Gundal on the line, or I don't see him on the panelist list. Maureen? Okay, it looks like we have people. Rajat was on, but I don't see him right now. So what I'm going to do is go to call-ins first. And is anybody waiting on the call? So please understand that we have people calling in from all over the world, and oftentimes we have all sorts of technical challenges that they deal with that we have to tackle. So actually, let me do this. I'm going to explain to you how 1 million by 1 million works. And if any of you are on the call, please tell me. If any of the other 3 presenters who had sent in your slides, if you have been able to dial in and if you're ready to pitch, you have to tell me.
Hi.
Who is this?
Hi, this is Radhakrishnan.
Radhakrishnan, okay. Radhakrishnan, what is the name of your company?
It's Get Closer.
This one is your slide, right?
Right.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi, Smarna.
Tell us, what are you working on?
So we started this CSR management firm in India, and especially after CSR being made mandatory, we thought, this could be a huge, a business opportunity as well as an opportunity to do good.
Okay.
So we started up, and we have been, working with here who have been interested in CSR, who's very serious about CSR, and especially one being Indian Oil, which is a Maharatna company here. And a couple of other projects are also in the pipeline.
And what do you do? What is your value proposition?
Right. So what we do is, there is a gap in getting the things implemented in a streamlined manner from the corporate side to the communities that need development and that need implementation.
Okay.
We find a huge gap, and because right now what happens is the corporates would outsource it to a third person, and there's no transparency here. So we bring in a transparent system and a streamlined system by putting up, excellent project management, reports, and also project management pipelines, what we, follow and get things implemented in a very timely and monitored manner. So we get to monitor the system. Once we implement it, we monitor it in a very, show the corporates what is the difference from when they implemented it and after they implemented it.
So what is your value proposition is that you project manage CSR projects on behalf of large Indian corporations, and then you monitor the project once it's already in action and report back to the corporation? Is that the crux of the story?
Right.
Okay. And what kind of, how much are you able to charge for this service?
Well, as per the section 135, which is the CSR guidelines, so we cannot exceed more than 5% of the total implementation cost. But if you look at it's quite huge when you look at the numbers of a CSR company, of a corporate company like Tata. The CSR budget itself would be like close to 500 to 600 crores. So, the kind of scale that we're looking at pan-India is huge. And 5% of that itself could be like equivalent to a huge, huge revenue. So 5% is one of the, maximum total cost of CSR.
I'm asking you a much simpler question, actually, Radhakrishnan. The deals that you have going right now, you said you have about 3 projects with corporations?
Right.
What is the size of these projects?
Okay.
That you, from your point of view, how big a project are you able to close from a revenue point of view? Your revenue, not CSR budget, your revenue. Okay,
so from when we started, I think the largest project, CSR project that we did for Indian Oil was almost like close to 6 to 7 lakhs in revenue. It was a fueling education campaign, and since we are based out of Kerala in India, it is a very there are like a lot of districts inside Kerala itself. So we were able to cover the whole of Kerala, and the total revenue for that, or budget for that, was close to 6 lakhs.
Budget or revenue? Your revenue? Budget or revenue, Radhakrishnan? This is a very important point.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get it. Come again?
The revenue.
Your revenue. This is the revenue. So your revenue range is somewhere in the $10,000 to $20,000 points, roughly speaking, 5 to 10 lakhs.
That is just in place in Kerala. That is just a state in India which is like quite very young into CSR actually.
Right, but that's where you are currently. That's the type of project that you're getting. So I'm just trying to get an understanding of where you are, where your business is currently. Right now, you are a small company and you've started in Kerala, and this is where we have 3 projects of this kind of scale.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Go to your questions. You can go ahead with your questions.
Yeah.
Your first question, you've been bootstrapping since starting up. You're a private limited company, and hence you would like to explore funding options after a month. This project is not fundable. These kinds of services projects, this is basically a project management service company. This is not fundable. You're going to have to continue bootstrapping unless you come up with products that have a scalable go-to-market strategy and fast growth and all of that. So this is not the kind of project, kind of business that gets funded.
Right.
The second question is, since the CSR industry has quite a bit of regulatory impact, how keen will an investor be to invest in such a business? I already answered your question. This business is not fundable. Apart from service, we are building a product related to carbon offsetting and carbon credits. And what do you think about carbon offsetting and carbon footprints in India? It doesn't matter what I think. We have a very clear philosophy in the 1 million by 1 million program, and this is for all of your benefits. The only thing that matters is what customers think. Can you identify a constituency of customers who are willing to pay for your products? That is the only thing that matters. It actually doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what investors think. It doesn't matter what advisors think. None of this matters. The only thing that really matters is whether you can find customers who are willing to pay for your products and services. So given that, my advice to you on point 3 or your question 3 is you need to figure out who in your target customer base are going to be the customers for this particular concept of carbon offsetting and carbon credits that you are thinking about, how you're going to go to market, what is that product going to be, and if there is customer interest and if you can figure out a way to scale that business, that if it's a product business that may have potential for fundability. Your current services business is not fundable. So scaling up advice, you basically need to develop a sales process, what we call a repeatable sales process. We do a lot of work in this area in our program, is how to go from, let's say you get 1 or 2 or 5 customers, how do you go to 50 customers, how do you go to 500 customers? And that has very specific methodology. So it's not really viable for me to give you all of that advice in just a minute, but we do teach this extensively, and we guide you through that process of scaling. Your 5th point is we would like mentorship and advice, as we believe backing from industry experts will give us an advantage while meeting corporates for advice on the same. I am not sure if that is necessarily what gives you credibility with corporates. What does give you credibility is PR, actually. If you can generate PR and if you can point to specific things that you've done on behalf of your customers. Customer success stories as PR stories in the media does give you credibility. That is something that you can cite as social proof, as we call it in the business. Okay, Radhakrishnan, does that answer your questions?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ramna.
You're very welcome. Okay, Rajan, are you on the... Are any of the other 2 presenters who have sent in slides on the call? Rajat is here. Is Rajat on the call? I see you on the panelist list, Rajat. You have to call in and identify yourself so that we can put you on as the next presenter. All right. You know what? I'm going to go and tell you about the 1M1M methodology, how we work first, and then depending on who's on the call, we'll come back and take more of these presentations as well as open Q&A. So if you like what we do in 1 million by 1 million in actually, free of charge coaching entrepreneurs at these sessions, and then we also do a premium program, refer serious entrepreneurs to the program. And the reason the word serious is really important is that contrary to certain myths that you can build a business, in a very short time, actually, it takes many years to build a company, build a sustainable, profitable business that has, good customers, revenues, profits. And that takes resilience, that takes commitment, that takes entrepreneurs who have really the desire to do it. If you kind of are like a hobby entrepreneur and you're not driven by this incredible passion to have your own business and make it successful, if you have a vision for a product or whatever, it's very difficult to stay the course, which is why we are primarily looking for entrepreneurs who really want to build businesses. That's really our quest. Okay, so everything in terms of resources is at 1mby1m.com. You will, find a very rich, content-rich website there. Our blog is extremely active, and we constantly feature successful entrepreneurs, thought leaders who help you along in your journey of learning the game of entrepreneurship, how to play and succeed and win in this game of entrepreneurship. So that's been the philosophy of the blog. It's available for free. We've published so far 10 books in the Entrepreneur Journey series, and each of them are a combination of case studies and then essays that analyze and synthesize certain points on certain topics. So you'll have one on bootstrapping, one on positioning, one on women entrepreneurs, that's our feminism book. There's one about Indian entrepreneurs. There's one about bootstrapping using services. This is a strategy that we use very consistently, especially in geographies where there is not a lot of seed funding available. A lot of entrepreneurs have succeeded in getting businesses going, with this bootstrapping using services technique. So we have published a book on that as well. We recently, this September, we launched From E-commerce to Web 3.0, and this month we've launched Carnival in the Cloud. These are industry-specific books. So this is what the site looks like. There are tons of videos where you will find answers to your commonly asked questions. These roundtables happen every Thursday morning, and this is our 236th roundtable. We have, thousands and thousands of people using this program for a while now, and we'll continue to do it, and you will continue to have a forum where you can come and get advice. And also, it kind of puts you in the mood to think about entrepreneurship. Even those who are just contemplating becoming entrepreneurs, we encourage you to come and hang out in these sessions, meet the people, listen to the pitches, and just learn through these processes of interaction, because it's kind of case study-based learning. You are listening to other people's pitches, you're listening to how, we are discussing their strategies, what are their options, and you learn a lot just by going through these, even if you're not pitching. So we do encourage you, even if you're very early on your process, we do encourage you to take advantage of these programs. So we do have also a premium program, and that's a $1,000 annual membership fee. For extensive methodology guidance, we have a very powerful curriculum. We help you with business development, introductions to customers, channel partners, whatever would help you grow your business. Where we have connections, we do have a very deep Rolodex. And we have similar strategy consulting sessions that are members only, that are our private roundtables as part of the premium program. Then if you're fundable, and we will provide you with the full diagnostic process of whether your business is fundable or not. And if your business is fundable, and then we'll provide you all the coaching to come up with your full funding material. You need a pitch deck, you need collaterals with which to go through a funding round. We will coach you through how to come up with that. And then once you're ready, we introduce you to investors as well. So definitely, that fundraising is part of our process. However, please understand, over 99% of the businesses are not fundable, and for good reason. So that's something that you have to take into account and which is why it's important, the diagnostic piece is very important. So you don't waste your time chasing something that is not likely to happen. And then we also have a lot of clout in the media, and we are able to help you get coverage both through our own platforms as well as other platforms where we publish. The $1 Million Club on the website gives you some case studies of companies in our program who have crossed $1 million in revenue. We provide you also with an ROI analysis. That's the quantifying the 1M value equation link. We provide $375,000 plus 5 to 10% equity worth of value for just $1,000 annual membership fee. And we do not have any concept of graduation, by the way. This is not like a 3-month accelerator program. We have people staying in the program for many years, and we really are committed to staying with you and helping you, grow your business for as long as you want to work with us. And then we provide you with lots of orientation material on how to use the program effectively. The 1M self-assessment is, it's on the blog actually, and it's available for free. You should take a look at this. You should ask yourselves these questions with respect to your business. These are questions that investors are going to ask you, and these are questions that you should be asking yourselves as you're strategizing on your business, and see where your gaps are in formulating your strategy. There's a lot of information on the website on what to expect from the premium program, video FAQs that will answer your frequently asked questions. The curriculum is a combination of case studies and video lectures. We have been inviting entrepreneurs who have been successful, and these include bootstrapped entrepreneurs, people who have raised huge amounts of venture funding, even people who have gone on to build billion-dollar unicorn companies. And we have today over 600 entrepreneurs who have participated in developing these case studies, and we have created video lectures to synthesize some of these lessons. And the curriculum, therefore, is a web self-service mode curriculum that is a combination of video lectures and case studies, and it's working amazingly well. This is one of the most efficient ways that you can learn the mechanics of entrepreneurship really well, really quickly, and we encourage you to take advantage of that. The core curriculum has 7 major topics and then a whole bunch of subtopics and modules. Those are bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. And then on the electives, we have industry-specific electives like Web 3.0 and e-commerce, cloud computing and business solutions, mobile and social apps, healthcare, IT, online education, etc. We also have an elective that's called How to Build Billion-Dollar Unicorns. We have an elective for women entrepreneurs. They have certain specific issues they're facing, and so forth. Our methodology is lean, capital-efficient, bootstrap startups. As I said, most entrepreneurs are not going to be fundable, and even if you are fundable, you're going to have to bootstrap your way to becoming fundable. So you have to validate, and you have to take something to investors that is a business, not just a slide deck. And to get there, you have to navigate a capital-efficient bootstrap phase really well. If you go to our press page, you will see a link called Coverage of 1M Premium Members. Those are examples of the kind of coverage we generate. We also give you access to our full social media channels, so Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, blog. We are very active in each of those with huge followings, and we give you access to gain, to spread your message, to promote your products through those channels. We have an affiliate program for those who are interested in partnering with us. So let me actually, before I go on, it looks like I have a message from Shweta, who's trying to call in from Singapore and has not been able to dial in. So is there anybody on the call who has sent in slides ahead of time?
Come again?
Okay, well, if nobody is, none of the other
No,
two.
this is Probir is there.
Who is this?
Probir.
No, Probir, that's okay. You're done. I'm looking for people who have not pitched yet. You've sent in your but have not pitched yet. All right. Doesn't look like the other two people who have sent in their slides have been able to navigate their technology issues. So we're going to go to open Q&A shortly. Just quickly, our upcoming free roundtables are all through November except Thanksgiving. So 6th, 13th, and 20th November, we have roundtables. And quickly, we do have an incubator in a box program for our partners. You know, we partner with companies, investors, governments, education institutions, so that the program that we have created can be brought to their communities through this incubator in a box platform. We have a lot of these partnerships. These are books that I've talked about already. Carnival in the Cloud and E-Commerce to Web 3.0 are the two latest books. So let's go to Q&A. We have the instructions up on the screen. So let us know in public chat if you're planning to call in, and we can take, you know, any questions from any of you. And Shweta, if you want to ask questions in public chat, you can do that. Since you've not been able to dial in, but you're here. And if anybody wants to dial in, you can dial in as well. Just let us know in public chat that you're planning to dial in. Anybody? Questions, comments? Introductions, feel free to introduce yourselves in public chat. Tell us where you're dialing from, what project you're working on. Please don't send me private messages. Prabhi Sarkar, you're sending me a private message asking, can I call you? What is that supposed to mean? Please set your public chat to send to all participants. Anybody? Questions, comments? Prabhi, I'm not sure I understand your question. So those of you who have questions about the 1M program, of how to use the program, how to join the program, etc., and whether the program is a fit for you, please contact Irina Patterson. Her phone number is 786-301-2456. Irina at 1mby1m.com. Irina_Patterson is her Skype ID. So Prabhi, if your question is, can you call me to ask questions about the program? The answer is no. You should call Irina. Anybody else? Questions, comments? All right, well, if there are no questions or comments, then we're going to wrap up the session and carry on. Thank you very much for attending, and we will see you back here next week. Bye, everybody.